How's it YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering how to animate characters with Blender and Mixamo. That's literally the quickest way to do it to save you time and money at this point and stage in the game. So let's open up Blender and get straight into it. Cool, so after you've opened up Blender, what I want you guys to do is obviously start a new composition, make sure that you clear everything in the field, okay? And now, first things first, we need to get a character to work with. So there's tons of free rigs out there, models that you can use. Today we're going to be using a character called Vincent from Blender Cloud. I'll put the link down in the description below as to where you can find it. So if you look over here, this is Vincent from Blender Cloud. So if you scroll down here, there's a download option, and he's obviously free to use in all of your personal projects. Select the place where you want to save it. I'll just save it on the desktop for now. Create a new folder, and let's call this rigging tutorial. Alright, and save Vincent in there. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is, in order for this to work, okay, so what we want to do is we want to, obviously Vincent, because it's done by professional Blender animators, what we want to do is we want to remove the current rig from Vincent, because not a lot of guys, especially if you're starting off with 3D animation, that you will know how to animate a character. So this technique will literally show you how to animate characters in the quickest method possible without having a lot of knowledge as to how to animate characters on Blender. So let's open up that scene. So open and we'll find Vincent. And there he is. So as you can see, he's already pre-rigged, but obviously this, the purpose of this tutorial is so that anyone can take a character like this and animate it as much as he or she possibly can, as much as you guys can, without a lot of knowledge on how to animate. So this tutorial is pretty much for total beginners. Okay, so first things first, what we want to do is we want to get rid of the background. We want to get rid of all the render images. Alright, so we'll come down here. Delete all this, all the cameras. Alright, now you'll see there's a lot of these accessories. Now these accessories are obviously the current armature of what is currently rigged on this character over here. Okay, so we want to get rid of that. And I think I deleted some of the texture files. Let's just go back. Yeah, I did. So what we want to do here is close the Vincent body. So let's delete the rim. You can obviously turn off the little eyes here to see what it is that you're actually deleting before you delete it. So select all of that, delete that. Delete the key light, or if you want to, you can keep the key light, it doesn't matter. For now, we're going to delete it, delete the camera, delete the background, and now we're left with the rig. So we want to delete the rig, and now you've got a 3D model taken from Blender, removed their rig, and actually just now you got something to work with. So what we want to do now is we want to go File, Export, and export to Wavefront OBJ. You can export to FBX as well, but then the software we'll be using now won't actually take everything into consideration. So we want to save it. Let's call this Vincent no rig. Okay. Okay, so now that that's done, we want to head over to Mixamo. Okay, Mixamo is a Adobe platform that actually provides you with free characters, animations, and all of that kind of thing, without you having to put in the effort to do it. So a lot of game developers use this site to actually just create their own characters. So you want to sign up. It's completely free to use. In this case, I will log in because I already have a profile. Okay, you can either sign up with your Apple account, Facebook, or Google, or personal email. I'll just use my Google account. Okay, and just to give you guys a heads up, I am using Blender 2.9.0 or 2.90, sorry, and this is currently one of the latest versions out there. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to actually come and upload our character. So we'll upload, select character file, and then we select the rigging Vincent. We select the no rig option that we just made. Okay, click open and wait for it to load. Now, what Mixamo does is take your rig, your current rig, and it actually allows you to automate the rigging process through their software without you having to do it within Blender. Obviously, there is methods how to do it in Blender and with other add-ons that Blender provides, and that we'll cover in the next tutorial, yeah, in the future. So for now, this is for complete beginners. Just to download something, you want to get started with animation and get rid of other people's rigs and just create your own if you want to use mixer mode. Because the problem with using rigs that already is animated and you want to put your own animation in there with animation data that you have is that you might run into a option or a case there where it says that there is no connecting hip bone, for instance. Okay, so we're trying to eliminate that by doing what we're doing now. Okay, so now as you can see, it's uploading and it's uploading the character and it's trying to complete the auto rigging process. It will ask you to pinpoint all the necessary locations for where it needs to be pointed. But once it is loaded, we'll get to that and I'll show you how to do that. Please note this can take a while. It can take up to 5 minutes. Okay, so just bear with me. Cool. So as you can see, here's our character Vincent. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to go next. Okay, don't mind these little squares over here. We'll take that out in Blender. So here you can see what it's asking you for. So it's asking you for the chin. So we take this and we move it over to the chin. You don't have to be precise, as 100% precise, as Mixamo will actually correct it for you. Take the wrist, and as you can, everything is using symmetry, so you can just do one side and it will cover the other side for you. You just place that on the wrist. Elbows, so we'll kind of guess where the elbows is here. Knees, that's an easy one. Okay, and then groin, or in this case it will replace it with the hip bone. Okay, so now over here where it says skeleton LOD, yeah, you can select whether it has your character has fingers or no fingers, or is this a standard skeleton. We will go with standard skeleton, which means it will include all the fingers and everything for us. Click next, and this will complete our rigging process. As you can see, it says our rig algorithm can take up to 2 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it can complete it within 30 seconds, depending on how good your 3D model is. Okay, so we're just waiting for that process to complete. Great. So as you can see, our auto rigging is done and the character is moving along with the rig. So we click next, next, and then now what we want to do is the first thing that you want to do is you actually want to save this rig as is. So click download, original pose, and you save it as FBX. So you can download this. And then go to the section where you want to save it. And let's make a new folder just to keep everything organized. And we'll call this FBX rig. And we'll call this Vincent T pose. Okay. So while that's busy downloading, you can now then select a few um, actions that you want. Okay, so let's have a look at some walking. Scroll through, let's take this one. Obviously here you can see where certain discrepancies will come in into your model, and that's fixable within Blender. And then let's just make the arm space about 70. We'll bring the overdrive down to about 40 or 35 to normalize this walking. There you go. And then let's say in place. Okay, and then click download. You can say with skin, it doesn't matter. You leave all of this as is and click download. And then call this, let's just put this in front so that we know what we're working with. mocap, which stands for motion capture. Save. Let's take another one. I think I'll do everyone a favor and do this. For those of us who grew up with this legend, let's take number 1 and let's download that. Yeah, let's call it that. And then we'll just download another one. And then click save. Okay, now while that's busy downloading, um, let's head back into Blender. And what you want to do is normalize your screen, create a new composition if you want to, because I want us to start on a blank canvas. And then what you do is you click File, Import, and then we'll go FBX. Okay, then go to the place where you've saved it, and then import the T-pose first. Okay, so as you can see, Vincent is fairly small. So what we can do here is we clear everything again, go File, Import FBX, and let's see if there's some other parameters we can use. So say Vincent T-pose and change the scale to 100. Okay, and then just click Import. There we go. And now Vincent is all normalized. So let's clean up Vincent quickly. Okay, and let's get rid of all these little funky gizmos over here. That's another thing. It's called a gizmo. That's all these little things that you see. This is all called gizmos. So let's have a look. Armature. Let's just switch all of this off. Scroll down. Let's just delete that. Delete, delete, and then there's one more, which is not geo, it's this, the CS lids. We delete all of that, and then go to pre-render view. Okay, cool. Now it's sitting with a Nice clean character. Let's have a look. I might have just removed the texture files. Yeah, I did. But anyway, besides that, we want to focus on the actual animation of the character. So currently, if you press play, nothing will happen. So what we want to do now is actually bring this up, or bring up another frame, and then here we are going to import the FBX, and we call the one that we call walking. Let's import that. So now you can move that aside. If you press play now, then you'll see obviously Vincent is walking. He's only walking 40 frames though. So he's walking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's walking. Great stuff. So what we want to do is we want to transfer this action over to this character over here. Okay, so for that we need to switch over to our dope sheet. Okay, and then we click on this armature over here, and then what we want to do now is where it says dope sheet, we're going to go to action editor, and then select the Mixamo action that you just imported. Then you can delete this file. Now you're asking, but why can't we just use that one? The thing is, we want to be able to use a T-pose stance at all times. So if we don't want to use this, we can then just switch over to any other motion. So now if I press play, it starts walking. Let me just check my modifiers. Okay, so no modifiers on. Okay, cool. So now for the next one. So say for instance you want the next one, you want another one. Say import, and let's say we take Thriller Part 1. So this is always a good thing to have, is to have multiple actions that you can stack on top of one another. So now if you press play, you'll see that the one character is dancing and the other one's walking. So now what we want to do is, as you can see here where it says layer 1, we actually want to change that name. Let's change it to Thriller. Okay, and then we click on our character, and you can literally do this with any rig. From there, change to Thriller and delete that, and now if you press play, our character is dancing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up a cleaner version of this, but as you know, obviously you know how to upload your character, so let's just quickly run through it again just for memory's sake. So first things first, you head on over to Blender, you download the character Vincent, you load him into Blender and clean him up as much as you can, and you save it as an OBJ. Okay, export as an OBJ. You can export as an FBX as well. It doesn't really matter, as this Mixamo will take a little bit longer to do that. Then what you do from there is you upload it into Mixamo, save the first one as a T-pose. Okay, download that as a T-pose, leave all the settings intact, and then from there you can download any other motion capture and then just follow the steps as we just did it now. So there you go. That is literally how to animate characters with no animation knowledge at all. So let me hop into a clean version of, or already clean version of Vincent. So as you can see what he looks like after he's been after it's been edited. Let's have a look here. Let's see, import from there, go FBX, and then let's see if we can find it. In the cloud, here we go. Oh, sorry, my one's huge. Oh, this is just the motion capture. Okay, no problem. But now you guys know how to do that. And I think, yeah, I did not save it. Typical. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Um, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit those bell notifications so that you can stay up to date with our latest content. We are doing a fully rigged tutorial soon, where we use Blender to rig the character instead of Mixamo to rig the character, and then from there we'll do animation on top of that. Until next time, cheers, guys.